everyone? Hope you guys are doing good. Well, today I'm going to be casting again another Team Wars, and we are gonna have Last Killer against Inti's Son. So, Last Killer, which are 1 win, 5 loss. Inti's Son, who instead is a bit more ahead, or pretty much more ahead, 4 wins, 2 losses, and also being a new team in the Team Wars format. Going to be happy to cast this war, and hope you guys are also doing good. So I'm just going to be waiting for the last player to join the table and then while we're doing the match. I appreciate for the follow Marty Copas. I know someone followed me before, but I appreciate it as well. Hopefully I don't miss any follows, but who cares? You guys are here for the wars. So I think that's it for the intro, guys. Actually, if I think I know what I want to do. Anyways, I was actually just searching some funny areas, but anyways, let's just up in hash a bit, let the war begin. We're gonna have Andrew on the bottom, Zell on top. I'll just switch the place for the names, and I'm also gonna do the predictions. They're gonna be optional like usual, so if you want to do them, feel free to.
Cue it!
And also, hello Marty, hope you're doing good, man. Right, so 23 cards on top, 30 on the bottom, which makes me think both of these decks are actually going to be RP. So yes, indeed, it is going to be RP. Okay, I did not expect to see that, but he is actually going to be discarding the all the hobbies hunting on, and thank you very much for following. That's right. So having another copy of the field spell, which I guess could be interesting. So that's mainly if he's able to give you hard. So summoning a lot of monsters, I guess I'm gonna go for the Panthers, yes indeed. That Ashe is a very solid beginning, especially if he has some good back row. Depends on which one it is, but most of the time in 30 card builds, you will find cards such as the Karma card, or I'd say maybe Ready to Break, but in general you have like cards which allows you to discard them. You could still play some more normal staples such as Floodgate if you want, Canadian, Book of Moon. So if those are the kind of sets he has, then Andrew is in a very good position for such one. Panther is gonna come in very fast, destroying the Oracle. No timing for zone. does spot though for Theo, unless he actually got a good trap, but it does depend yet again what cards does Andrew have. Getting another back row, going for the attack. First one landed, and second one landed. No back row, maybe both of them were bait. So that's going to be good for actually 4 last killer, which so far are going to keep the Harpy. Alright, so Theo is done 1 deck. Let's go like that. We won as a royal card fighters. It's so funny to see people speaking Portuguese when actually the team is from Peru. That sounds good. Actually, oh my god. I just realized the volume in game was so loud. Let me just put it there. Oh my god, I just realized the volume was so loud. It should be better, I guess, if people wanted to hear my voice. And the in-game audio at the same time. It sounds good. So what I want to check is if they want to go for repeat. First of all, we'll guess no. Harpy versus Harpy, something in general dangerous, but still possible if you want to keep the Harpy. From the looks of it, it is going to be the second deck what he is going for. Alright. Oh, that's true, that's Sugar. Yeah, good call, Mystic. And I'm still going to remember, by the way, talking about Sugar, I'm going to remember the insanely good edits he's done for the videos, which I still think from today onwards, they have like one of the best edits I've seen in any Duel Links video, talking about the decks and all. So big up Sugar. Alright, so Theo does look like he's playing Thunder Dragon this time. Alright, so setting only 1 card, and he's gonna stop here. Theo, which so far is going to be able to play. Alright, gets to summon the Aloof Lupine first of all, which is going to banish the Dragon Dog, alright. And the Roar. So classic combo here, which first of all is going to allow you to get a Thunder Dragon from the deck, and the second one which allows you to special summon from the deck. So he's gonna have a free setup to make a rank 6. Also gets the Dragon Duo, so if he has Hawk, it could be potential lethal. All depending on what the back row is. It still makes me think that if this is no TTH, then if it's not Hallowed Lab Barrier actually, I don't think he wins. Hallowed Lab Barrier is one of these cards you can play still in a Harpy 30 card deck, which saves you some time and trouble because you don't receive any damage, and no monster is actually destroyed by battle. Alright, so going into Bonzer. And of course the Dragon Duo to push for lethal. And that was actually a Karma Cut, so not enough for defense. Yep. is what it is. So that's going to be 1-1 here. So no Undero has to go for the second deck, and is he having a deck that is actually going to be efficient against the Thunder Dragon? Is one of the questions. Alright, he's back in the table. And here we go again. Let's go. So it looks like it is going to be Melodious on the bottom. Although just in case, I'm going to suppose it could be Luna Light, because I remember one team has been playing Luna Light with Yuzu. Alright, he gets a fair opening, and he's only going to use the effect of the Roar. You only use Hawk if you think the hand is bad, so sometimes you can indeed go for that. But he does have already Hawk, so he doesn't care. And he's gonna have a fair setup because 3 Xyz and will be a Bonzer eventually. So he's still thinking for the Xyz, not wanting to go yet for Bonzer. Probably in doubt of the Bloom Diva, yes. So that's a fair play here. He went for Force Focus instead. Just so he can be able to negate the Bloom Diva. Right, instant MST is gonna happen. Ooh, MST against an MST. Alright. First movement solo coming in. Well, special summon a Soprano, okay. So if he didn't have one, I think it was good to go for the Soprano. Alright, does get the... what's it called? The Sonata. So right now he can go for the Schuberta. Now going for the Maestro, of course. So the Force Focus is actually going to be very good here. I think that ends up being a very good play, because if you went for Bonzer, and I just realized that, what will happen is you can try to negate the Maestria, so the level 7. What happens after that is he still has a play. Goes for the Bloom Diva, monster will be destroyed. Force Focus just doesn't allow Android to really do all the plays correctly. So at the moment where you have the Bloom Diva coming in, the monster will have the effects negated. No fusion. Going big down, okay. That is insanely cheeky. Oh my god, that's gonna be brilliant here. Going beat down, going for lethal. Also get the second score. Double score for the win. Well, holy. Double score, enough for the win. GG. That's actually a good point here taken. So Andrew is gonna remain in the table with that Melodious. And Theo is gonna be out. We're gonna have to wait for the next player. And hello to you, Tesseract. Score is broken, let me see. Nah, what do you mean? No, score is good. I mean, where is it broken if it's on the right or left? But that is what it depends though. Left or right side? Let me know. I think it's my phone, then let me restart. It's okay. It's all good. The phone is quite an enemy though. I do agree. Like, for some weird reasons, you have like phone that actually can have some bugs at some point. Which tends up to be pretty annoying. Alright, let me just give the 2 days full let it break. They're about to begin. Let's go. Alright, so now they have to send the deck that has the counter Melodious, and also look like they're picking. I mean, I wish it would be Triamid, but I think that's gonna be Harpy. If it is, it's Harpy. First turn, which is going to go for Andro. Alright, so going for the first movement solo. And special summons the Sonata, so I guess is gonna use the skill instantly to get the Maestro. That will allow him to get back the monster in hand. Okay, yes indeed. We'll go for the skill, and one Maestro does he wants to summon, it is going to be Mozarta. Okay. That's a hand I didn't get or expect to see. Mozarta into Chopina, and a special summoning Soprano. Well, normal summoning. And goes for Schuberta. Huh. I guess I can understand, especially that Bloom Diva will be useless in the early game. And in case it was Harpy, then you can actually bounce the Bloom Diva. So it's way better to go for Schuberta for the moment. At the same time, whenever Light It Break is going to be playing cards, you have the field spell that will be eventually destroyed. And if so, the opponent can actually banish the cards pretty easily. So he goes, sets 3 cards, will take the time. So this situation is not going to be simple at all for Let It Break, but also Andrew, because on one side, if those set cards are not real back row, then he cannot defend from the attacks of Andrew. At the same time, Andrew could receive a TTH, and if such, that is going to be a lot of damage. Alright, so battle phase declared. Attacks first with the Sonata. Attack landed. There's indeed going to be a TTH happening. Does Andrew has a response though? No, no response. And still no back row. That was gonna be lethal at that point because Break should have the resources. Alright, going for the classic theme, Channeler, discard 1 Harpy, get another Perfuma, get the Egotist, and that will be GG. Also had another back row, sheesh. Alright, so yes indeed, that's lethal for the Harpy player. And that is actually going to be 2-2 we have so far, so scores are very close for the moment. Alright, so Andrew is going to have to be out, and now we have to wait for the next player. Well, it feels way more weird for me to be casting things alone. If there's one wish I have when it comes to stream, is to be entertaining way more than people. But I just cannot. I mean, I know how to commentate games and all, or do it at my best, but there's always a point where you feel that you want to talk about some stuff, real life stuff. It's way more fun when I have a co-caster for sure. So maybe another time I'm gonna get another one. But first of all, the player's already in. So we're gonna have Tempelegi that is going to replace Under. Alright, so whenever the 2 players are ready, we can jump in. Alright, they're ready. We're gonna jump straight in. So Tempelegi is going to be on the bottom. On top, we're gonna have Let It Break again. So going with Yamayugi against Harpy. That sounds like Thunder Dragon. And if it is, going second cold be nice. But also cold would be nice depending off the hand of Break. Because if Break has any good defense plus manages to get a Rook on the field, that will be actually hard for the Thunder Dragon player. But I don't think it is Thunder Dragon, it should be Lunalight from the looks of it, 20 cards. So I will suppose this is Lunalight we have on the bottom. Setting 2 cards immediately. So that's gonna be indeed Lunalight. Gets the Tenki done, Emerald Earth. And the moment he gets the Saber Dancer with enough attack, that's gonna be GG. But that is no easy task. That's a classic thing. He discards the Modern. Martin is going to allow him to get the Fusion card, spell card. So he has a lot of cards in hand. Alright, going for the big setup. Saber Dancer on the field. And of course does not have enough stats. But it will be eventually some solid damage. That's a big damage, 500 life points remaining on the side of Let It Break. Which now is going to be quite the pressure for him, because depending on the deck list he has, if you don't have the correct staples, then you could have some Xyz cards, such as the Spark Dragon, to be able to deal with the Saber Dancer. Otherwise, cards such as Floodgate will also be nice, because you get to flip face down the Saber Dancer. So eventually he's starting up to get the setup. And right now the Agonist. Going for a Swallow's Nest. Which will be, I guess, to get the Oracle. Yeah. Alright, going indeed for Nixie is rank 3. Who is it going to be? Yes, indeed. So Thunder Spark Dragon gonna be on the field. And destroying the whole board. On the opponent's side only. Although I don't think at that point he has anything for lethal, so that will be an end turn for Let It Break after that. No, he's gonna... Is he? He's going for it. Alright, I have not expected that. He's going for the attack here. So wanting to deal the damage instead of not proccing the Destiny Draw. Must be really confident on the back row here. MST against the Tenki. So that's always going to be a nice -1 against the Lunalight. Oh wow. Oh wow. No fusion, nothing. That could be game, but it's not because there's clearly a hand trap on Temple Legacy's side. Temperance will be discarded for that. No, he's going for the fusion. Goes for the Book of Moon to flip down his own monster, which is going to allow him to block the possibility for Temple Legacy to go for fusion using materials from the deck. And because there was no fusion done on the previous turn, he knew that there will be at some point only one monster in his hand, which is going to be Crimson Fox. But what he can do is actually use the effect of Martin, get back the Crimson Fox, and that is just to get a bit more defense here to get some more time. But what is going to happen at that point is that the Martin is actually remaining banished after being destroyed by battle, or even by card effect. So only one monster remaining on the field, still the Thunderspark Dragon on Let It Breaks aside. Not going to be enough to stop and destroy the Martins, so Sphere Kuribo is going to intervene. So going for the fusion right now, and I don't think Break has or wants to use the card yet. He could take time actually. Alright, so he went for the Saber Dancer. He's gonna have a hard time dealing with this Saber Dancer though, because he doesn't have any more Spark Dragon. I have the impression that what's going to happen is he's gonna try to dig out, that's all. And the Inaba finally comes in. Ooh. That rabbit is going to start hurting a lot. Instant TTH on the rabbit and the emerald bird, but it is still going to be difficult at that point because the issue here is that there's more rabbit in Lunalize's deck, so Temple Lake is looking fine. Brick is not looking fine so far, unless he finds a way to deal damage against the Martin that has been special summoned right now. No, he's not gonna have enough, and that's gonna be a point yet again for last killer. So Let It Brick has to go for the second deck right now. Alright, he's back in the table. And let's hop in.
Duel?
Alright, so we're gonna have water on top. Water also gets the first turn. If it is Diva, that's good. But if it is also Bust, so Shark, he's gonna be having a nice turn. So what are you going to do, Let It Brick? He does get the Diva. So getting the classic setup here done. Alright, so goes immediately for the skill, Territory of the Shark. We're going for the Exceeding, of course, Abyss Dweller. Only that. Only an Abyss Dweller against a Lunalite. That actually is not going to be okay for him. That's not going to be good. Well, it all depends on the hand, because if Temple does not have an access to make the fusion instantly, and we're talking about Saber Dancer, I do think it's not lethal yet. So he did the tank, he gets the Emerald Bird. From the looks of it, I'm going to suppose he has no way to make a fusion unless he tries to make the Emerald Bird that discards the March and search for the fusion. And if such, he will have to have the monster essentially destroyed. But he will take this patiently, just sets a monster. So he does have the monsters again, but that is not going to be the easiest task. So he goes first of all using Abyss Dweller. I was only making one attack here. I mean, 1 damage. Sphere Crew, which has stopped the Abyss Dweller. Which actually was pretty cheeky though, but let's see what's gonna happen. The Rabbit comes in though. And Rabbit also will special summon the Emerald Bird, so yet again discarding a card. Although Abyss Dweller, he will have a response right now. At some point. TTH instant. And also decided to use the Abyss Dweller early by discarding Diva, so no monster has the attack to 0. That actually is very solid. Very, very solid, because even if there's a fusion that uses materials from the deck, the point is there's no lethal for Temple. Is it gonna have a fusion, maybe Saber Dancer. But if he does have the Saber Dancer, that's gonna be almost over for break unless he has cards such as Droning. But from the looks of it, since he's playing TTH, I do believe he doesn't. And goes for the Cat Dancer. This is insanely cheeky. Because he can... No, he can... No, he cannot. I was actually thinking if he could use the Saber Dancer from the graveyard. I was trying to think if he was able to or not. But doesn't seem to be the case. But yeah, that would be self-explanatory since Abyss Dweller has negated. Hammer Shot! Ooh, that was actually spicy. And now he also tried to attack anyways. But there's clearly a hand trap going to be Temperance, stopping the last attack. One card combo exists. From the looks of it, I think he will want to search Rabbit. I think that's the best bet he has. I don't see any better card than Rabbit, honestly. Yep. Alright, so he summoned back the Emerald Bird and will first know the back row. There was a bounce. So right now he's going to be making into an Xyz using Martin and the Emerald Bird. And who does he want to go for? I do think he's going to go for the Tiger King from the looks of it. That's what I think. And yes, indeed, Tiger King is going to be the one summoned. I guess now the Martin with the help of Tenki. And now he can use the skill to negate the effects of all monsters except Beast Warrior. Although any monster that Brick has, which I do think is what he has in hand, he will be able to go for another Xyz. But I do not think he has enough lethal at that point. He's sending 2 cards. Sending 2 cards though. The Lunar Light is actually coming back. So now we have an Inaba that is yet again back, but not only that, you special summon Emerald Bird, which allows him to search for another resource. Not using the effect of Inaba. Alright, so going for an Xyz. He will go for the Papal Operative. So that is going to be pretty good for him because he can switch the position of the monster and decrease its attack at the same time. Not enough for lethal, but that's a guaranteed destroy monster. Light Imprisoning Mirror is actually going to come in. Ooh. Is this going to change a lot of stuff from this duel? I think not. Also the Lunar Light Fusion coming in. I do think that is going to be over though. That is indeed going to be lethal for Tempeleggy here. So So that is going to be 4-2 what we have so far. Let It Break, which has to be out. And the Lunalight so far resisting. Alright, so now we're going to be waiting for the next player on Inti's Son's side. So like Gears of Lunalight is always making quite a big impact in this format, but there's always some little ways to deal with them. Alright, so the next player is in. And we're gonna have Demon 666 in the table. Alright, so let's see what they sent against the Lunalight though. Thunder Dragon is one of the beaks you can get to see. Fire King also can do the job if you want to have it. And also water for good measure on my side, so I can be ready to watch. Take it away. Demon clearly waiting for the opponent. I'm sure of this. Oh. Alright, they're in. They're ready. Let's go. Alright, so Yamayugi going to be on top. 30 cards. Sheesh. That's gonna be funny to watch. I wonder what deck it is. Only sending one card on the side of Tempelegi. I'm really wondering what deck it is this going to be. That's gonna be Fire King, alright. So Onslaught of the Fire King, which is going to allow him to get the Garnix. Muy buenas, Seku. ¿Cómo está? Como siempre la gente pocas veces hablando porque está seguramente trabajando. Sí. So far only a Garnix on the field. Also, he went destroys the Crimson Fox, and by default the Garnix is going to be special summoned because in defense position. Alright, so the Rabbit is going to be summoned. Will summon the Crimson Fox right now, And he can bounce back the back row. If he has a way to go for the fusion, it will be nice. Ojalá te estoy viendo de suerte y queremos hoy. Pues habrá que ver, la verdad por ahora una guerra bien sólida entre los dos, And does get the Fire King right now, which is going to be important here because he can destroy his own Garnix. But goes for the Barong instead. Alright, sir. Searches the Arvada and make some damage. Enough to deal 1900 with that Garnix on the rabbit. Because no one likes the rabbit. Joke, a lot of people love it, but depends on the context and what kind of stuff. Sphere Kariba though is going to intervene, reducing the damage. And I do still think that's going to be way more interesting because who does he want to destroy? That is going to be a very interesting situation because destroying the rabbit is going to allow Demon to not have the back row bounced back, and if he attacks the fox, it allows him to not get the attack reduced to 0 in case Arvada is getting targeted, but I do think Arvada will be fine indeed, so whenever this happens, he has Arvada to negate the effect of the Crimson Fox sent to the graveyard. Thank you, Sneezy. Glad to have seen you here. Alright, so using the 10 key. Instant MST, that is going to be very important right now. Negate that 10 key. So I do got Tempilla, he has still some few plays to do, but not enough to go for good stuff. Alright, goes face up with the Crimson Fox. Sneeze que viene de clavear en Latam Wars, en serio. Ala. Sneeze tubers, nowadays life sucks. Alright, I'm just going to say this to Mr. Sneezy. I'm also busy, yet I'm still streaming. Sometimes you have to fight life. That's what it is. Good luck, my dude, though. It is what it is, though. But yeah, I do think it is going to be worse whenever you're like... I don't know, I think each period there's always like... Okay, how should I explain that? If you're studying or if you're working, both life sucks. But to me, especially as a French, I hate way more studies rather than work, at least at the moment. But that is because mentally you're trying to figure what to do in life, you're trying to think what kind of activity or even work you want to do, and it's such a huge struggle. But of course, if you take a bad work at some point, then you will hate the work, that's for sure. Like if I said, for example, I want to work as a geometa, despite me having the diploma, I will actually be hating the work, I'm not going to lie, but it has to be done at some point. Ah, that changes stuff. If you have indeed if you have children, yeah, it changes completely. Is what it is, but yeah. Remain as a good father, though. Hello, JP. Oh, you're a tiny guy, pal. I know you woke up pretty early, though, for stream. I saw you streaming, too. I had a war that finished in 9. Hope you enjoyed it, though. That's always something that matters. That's the Crimson Fox attacking the... No, it was a strike. He attacked with Irvana. Attacking it again. Demon is insanely sure about it. Also, I think he's right. Temperance being forced. And Arvada negates it anyways. So yeah, that will have been the end. He woke up pretty early for DR against XF. No, DF against XF, yeah. Alright, so no, that is actually going to be 3-4. The AFK so far being in action. Actually, that's going to be the bottom. So the Lunar Light is now finally out. The FK is going to remain. Oof. Well, I saw what happened, sadly, Senpapi. Good luck for week 9 in League of Friends. I'm also happy to see you here as usual. Hope you're doing good. Must be insanely early for you though. I think that's like 10 AM? 10, 9 AM? Because I think you and Dark are like in the same time zone? Or like same side in the US. And still had a match hours before FMXYGL, and on last game they repeated RB. Oh my god. Okay, Gaiva. There's one thing you're not gonna achieve like I did. I'm gonna tell you one thing. That's gonna be something you guys will enjoy. Oh, 11. Okay, Senpai. So, I just want to talk about my Saturday and Friday. So, pretty much Friday night. Well, pretty much the whole Friday I had college from 10 to 18. I go back at home. Let me also launch the duel. And I do my homework while waiting for the first scrim that I have with my clan. So after the first practice, we finished, I was like, I have to finish my homework, so I continue with that for hours. And I was waiting for another scrim, which actually is at 1 AM. The scrim lasted more than the previous scrim, and it was 3 AM. I had to wait for an hour. And that is because at 4 AM, I had a stream to do. And the stream lasted an hour and a half, so I ended at like 5:30 AM. And I ended up sleeping at 6 AM. That was my schedule, by the way, Gaiba. Trust me. Oh, throat started burning. Oh shit. I hope you'll be fine, the Gaiba. It happens. I mean, if you were shouting a lot, by the way, if you were shouting a lot, I'm gonna understand why. It will make so much sense if that's what happened. But hope you'll still be fine though. That's gonna end up. In less than 24 hours I streamed 3 wars. Yeah. I mean, I had that a lot of times in the past where I was used to stream many wars in like one day. What I did most of the time was like doing so many wars on a week. That's what I remember I did though. For clan wars, box to box. I don't think team wars that much because they controlled it, but like mainly clan wars and box to box, I was doing so many streams. So many. I said the Book of Moon is destroyed. But that's all there is because the Book of Moon still makes the Harpy sleep. So Third King will actually, I think it will be fine. MST. Alright. MST on the back row. Ooh, that's gonna be very cheeky. Hollow Light Barrier. Discard the sign. But he still has an Arvada. Should be okay, I guess. And decides to flip the Perfumer. Doesn't change much. Of course. Seven cards in hand right now, of course, thanks to the sign. Big people hand is what I'm seeing in front. A lot of summons will be done at some point. It's not yet guaranteed lethal though, because he has to play around the Arvada. So Tempelengi has to force the Arvada at some point. So he goes for the Channeler. Alright. Will he want to negate this or not? He's gonna go for it, he's gonna negate with the Arvada. I think only Kaiser is what's going to save Demon though. He's not in the best spot. Also gets to destroy a Barong instead. Agadis is going to be used. Brings a Harp Lady on the field. Or he goes for the Synchro. Also gets the Oracle on the field. Very good hand is what Tempelegi is getting. Malevolent Sin, and if he has another monster to be summoning, that will be the end. But he goes for the Abyss Dweller, so no Malevolent Sin. So that is still going to be fine though. He's going way more control, and that Abyss Dweller is going to be very important because you can actually block the effects from the grave, so almost a win, but not yet. The best Temple will need a Negodist, so if he doesn't have it, that's gonna be the end, but yeah. Very evil field though. And if there's a Sphere Cube on Demon's side, I think he's gonna be very fine. Because he has to save the Arvada. And he does have the Sphere Karibo. Unfortunately, there's an Abyss Dweller, so Demon cannot really do much against it. Unless... no, yeah. Using the effect immediately on the draw phase. Not giving a chance to the Fire King at all. Hollow Life Barrier. Is this going to be enough though? Because we know the Demon has a card, but if it is a Fire King, he can negate the effect of the Cyber Slash. No, he cannot. Oh, he cannot. And there's also another Historic Sign that has been discarded, so even more monsters drawn by Tempelegi. That is going to be another massive hand. And a lot of monsters on the field again, but I think Demon can only save his life with the Kytrod at that point. Does he have a Kytrod? It is what he needs right now. I guess his sitting king right now went to use the Kytrode, and he'll have to do it at some point. Now he's gonna go for the first Kytrode used. That is evil. That is evil. That's still going to be game. Swallow's Nest is going to be enough for him to change to another Harpy, and that's going to be lethal because we know what card is in Demon's hand. And that is the Arvada that was bounced. So that's gonna be 5-3 in this exact situation. So Fire King is gonna be out. And the Harpy remains. Alright, we're in for the next duel. So now Demon has to get a deck that ideally will counter the Harpy. And it is a Yami Yugi which we have on top. Now the fact that we're talking about Harpy 30 cards, they can be actually terrifying. Because as you can see with cards such as Hallowed Life Barrier, that will be one of the ways to protect yourself from a Thunder Dragon. Future Fusion. And that's gonna be Lunalight. 100%. But only against one monster. That... Harpy's Hunting Ground coming in. Yup. So he's getting so far a good hand. Also destroys his own haste rate, which was set. So he could go for the Synchro if he wants to bounce the monster. If he's looking for lethal, but let's see what he goes for. Alright, so no bounce, he went for the destruction only. And now the Haste Rank sign is actually going to come in. That actually makes me think he used the Future Vision very early on turn 1. Which makes me think he could have tried to save it because he knows that it will have been destroyed at some point because there's the field spell. That will have saved him some time, get the spell guaranteed because Tempeliki did not get back the card. So he'll still get some card. It is going to be Emerald Bird. Alright. So he does get a 10k, why not? I also just realized he decided to discard the Lunalight Fusion, which is going to reduce the chances for Demon to get fusion spells. Well, he can still get Martin, but that is no easy field, and we also have to talk about that 10k, which could have allowed the Cyber Slash to bounce the Emerald. And there's in fact another Lunalight Fusion. Yeah, it has to bounce itself. No choice. So now the Cat Dancer is going to come in. So he went for the attack here. Alright. Chandler are going to be summoned, and I mean at that point these are free plays for Harpy. But not really, because you still have the Crimson Fox also that is going to block the possibility for any targeting effect. So he's still getting some setup here. A lot of monsters being summoned. And we'll eventually go for the Cyber Slash Harpy Lady. So depending on the order of operations, we can know if it is going to be lethal or not. Oh, yeah. From the looks of it, he does have the negatives in hand if such. So that is going to be a nice play because he can actually bounce the Cat Dancer without being worried of the Crimson Fox. And that actually is going to end up being game. That was very fishy though to go with the Abyss Dweller here. That was very good. It is what it is though. That was more of a beneficial hand for the opponent rather than Demon, sadly. And such. That's going to be another point for the Temple, which he's going in a streak though. Alright, so Demon is going to be out. We have to wait for the next player on IS's side. This RP 30 cost though, very fishy. Alright, so I is taking quite some time though because they have to think how to counter the next decks. And also that Harpy 30 cost, which so far could be imposing for the next duels. Alright, the next player is finally in. And we are going to have GNC on the table. Alright, so what deck did they decide to bring, but that's gonna be another Yamiyugi.
Duel!
24 cards. First turn going for Tempelegi, by the way. So let's see what Tempelegi is going to do. He has the first turn. So going for it, summoning the Oracle. Quite interesting, he went for the sign here. He didn't want to destroy it, but he wanted to be able to summon. The question is, what does he want to summon? That's gonna be a Cyber Slash Harpy Lady. No, he doesn't have enough materials if we check the graveyard. Only has 2 monsters. Wait, so why did he go for the Cyber Slash Harpy Lady? Because that could be actually lethal. That smells lethal for me for the Thunder Dragon, in my opinion. Let's see. He's gonna go for the first Thunder Dragon here. Fair enough. Only adds 1. He goes again for the effect, so he has all materials to make a Legionnaire. Going for that instant Legionnaire, which is going to do what? He has to not destroy ideally the sign because only the synchro matters. If he touches the sign, the opponent gets so many monsters. And that will be a lot of play, so yeah. Only destroying the Cyber Slash Harpy Lady. And only use the effect of the Dragon Dark so far. That has been banished. And he actually is going to special summon 1. Okay. He could have had... Actually, he can have lethal without the need of Xyz. Yeah, GG. Dragon Dark and Dragon Aurora, the 2 brothers, going for lethal just like that. So that's gonna be... I also forgot to change the score before, so that was the 6th point for the previous duel. And no, this is the 4th point for Inti's son. Just correcting things up. And Tempelegi no is going to be out. GNC took the point. I'm also just checking the scores, and yes, we're good. So right now I'm just going to be waiting for the next player on the side of Last Killer. I'm so glad there's such OST, by the way. I actually want to talk about this. I'm so glad there's this OST for Arc 5. It just sounds so peaceful. That's honestly the best thing whenever you're like waiting for something, like the next match. It's just amazing. Alright, so the next player is finally in. And that's gonna be Sin Mavis on the table. And just waiting for the two players to be ready. Alright, let me just spectate this right now. And let's see what deck Sin Mavis brings to counter the Thunder Dragon. Yami Yugi is going to be on the bottom. Alright.
Duel!
Alright, so she and C starting off with the first turn with a nice Aloof Lupine, banishing the Dragon Dark and the Dragon Aurora. And I also see 20 cards on the bottom on the side of Sin Mavis, which makes me think that will be a Lunalight. Alright, so no, he has to go for a certain Xyz, but who does he want to go for? There's also the issue that it depends on the deck he has to fight against. Going for an Xyz also means that you will potentially get a lethal if you don't have an end trap in hand. So GNC has to be very cautious about the decision here. Goes for the Bonzer. In attack position. That is a big surprise. So what is Sin Mavis going to do? He has 5 cards, he has to deal against Bouncer, but also hope that there's no hand trap, because if he has a setup for the Cat Dancer, the double attack, it will be fine, but no, that's actually going to be Gaia. So we're going to be seeing Gaia instead, Gateway to Guess being activated. Alright, so not using the skill right now after drawing for the guy of the Magical Knight. No, because we're seeing a Gaia being used, I think they have a rule where if you use the skill you have to reveal the hand and prove that you are actually using the skill correctly, because the change that will be applied for next week when the ban list is applied is that you cannot use you cannot discard or like send a spell trap back to the deck. It has to be a monster. instant Book of Moon has been done. So far free setup for the Gaia player. Sinmav is getting everything. The Knight, Curse of Dragonfire. Now making the magical Knight of Dragons. So there's still a Bonzer though that will be able to negate the effect of the magical Knight. So here the difficulty for Jinx is going to be hard to deal against all these cards on the field. And it does have the Melody of Awakening. I do think he has the setup for Levineer right now. Ooh, that's gonna be something. And he has to go for it though. He has to go for it, trying to destroy the cost from the opponent, I'd say. Oh, there's the Forbidden Chalice though. Forbidden Chalice, which is going to negate the Levineer. Ayya. And also Jinxie switching one card for another one. Ooh. Oh, that is Advanced Dragon. That is actually going to be lethal. Okay, that is good to see. Jeez, I was not expecting to see the Odd Eyes Advanced Dragon. No, I know it is actually being played in the recent Thunder Dragons due to the fact that it is level 8. All you need to do is Tribute, and then if you do it, you can actually destroy a monster. But this setup specifically is going to be very good for GNC. All thanks to the monster protecting himself. He can negate the Gaia, destroy it, and that actually is going to be lethal. Oh my. That is a turn that happened. Sheesh. And Jinx is actually going to be taking this important point because he won't have this very easily. He is against the Gaia. And that just means that we're about to see a repeat 100%. Right, will they declare though? Let's see what last killer is going to do though. Because if their second deck is eventually pretty much good against the Thunder Dragon, they could save the repeat for later. But the fact that they sent it, they are going to go for repeat. Yes, indeed. There's going to be repeat. So first repeat. Yeah, he really played it well for sure. The Levineer, of course, had to be done at some point. And I think that's something that really saved him to have the Levineer through the Melody of Awakening. So that pretty much helped him out. But going for the Hulk also was good. I do think maybe he had the other Advanced Dragon maybe in hand. That was probably possible. But that Bonzer ends up being like so important for like that exact encounter. So that was a card that saved his duel. Okay, we're gonna go for the next duel right now. Alright, so first one is actually going to go for Gaia. So that won't be as easy as before though. Also bottle noises. Who likes ASMR? Let me just read back. Setting 2 cards. Setting 2 cards. Really? Oh my. Breaklandia actually came in. Sheesh. Although it still depends if GNC does get the opener, which in that case will be a Luflupine. But does he have it? So using the first Thunder Dragon, will use it again. This makes me wonder if he wants to push for Levineer or just get very fast materials, which I do believe it is going to be that. Dragons are going to use its effects. Banish this 2 material, gets a Dragon Duo on the field. Can he special summon again though? He goes for a tribute summon? Oh my god, that's so cheeky. Oh, that is actually very good. So he tributed it because he knows there's a light in the graveyard, and like that he can actually push again with that Dragon Duo. So now he has 2 monsters, enough for lethal if there's nothing much for St. Mavis. But he knows there's timing though, so I do think there's going to be a card used, but it depends on what. So it doesn't seem that there's going to be a DTH. It is going to be a Book of Moon though. Used immediately on the Dragon Duo. Nonetheless, GNC is still in a good spot though. Yeah, for sure, Tesseract. That actually was a very solid play here. Trying to push for lethal because you know the guy doesn't really have much. St. Mavis in a pressure, sending another back row again. And now uses the Dragon Dagger that he had in hand, discards it, draws. But yet again, no monster on the side of Gaia, by the way. That is crazy. Flips the Dragon Dog, of course. Sorry, Dragon Duo. I don't know if he's going to try to do Tribute Summon. But if he has a level 6, he can try. But I don't think it's eventually going to be something that matters. I guess he's gonna keep the field just like that. Unless he has a way to get the Levineer set up. Okay, he goes for the Tribute Summon level 5, which means he cannot do any exceeds rank 5. That's all he gets. He's not on fine though, he's still sort of fine, but if he's reading a TTH though, I can understand the play. And Book of Moon is going to be used again. There's one card we also didn't see yet. Another Book of Moon used. So that's not going to be enough for lethal. Gets back the hook. Still 2 cards remaining on the St. Mavis' hand. All the Book of Moons being used. This long pause makes me think, okay, no, he has the skill though, he's starting to get something. Alright, so now that he has the hand, he's gonna be able to begin the cycle with the Magical Knight. But it's only Dark Flare. Okay, so he still can make a fusion, but that actually ended up being a big break though. Dang. I can see why. He will still end up putting a lot of pressure though, because no effects cannot be used. Although at some point GNC is going to have a Levineer, and if that's the case, more pressure again. Alright, so let's see what Genesis is going to do, because he has to fight against only one enemy. The Magical Knight of Dragons. Tedious monster putting a lot of pressure. The first look that I have is GNC does not have a way for the Levineer, but especially because it does not have light units, although if that was the case he goes for the Hulk. Instant Hulk, get a Roar for example, and then go for the Levineer. What does he want to do? Tribute summon, oh my. Okay, I have the impression to know he's going crazy. If this is just to summon Terras, that is nuts. Terras is still one of these XCs you can still play, because if he goes for Address, thing is, if he goes for Address, I don't know what's gonna happen. He goes for the Volcasaurus only, okay. And skipping a turn, oh. No. I do think if it was Terras, I guess things will have changed. Alright, so far he is insanely lucky though, oh my god. It's only a back row. But Simonides is going to need something to also counter Ares the Levineer. Jinsi needs the Levineer at that exact point because he doesn't have any monster anymore. He can get the Roar, which will get him another monster. He goes again for the Dragon Duo. He goes for the Hulk and the Dragon Dart. And will use the Hulk and then the Dragon Dog. So no, he's going all in just to get a possibility to get the Levineer in hand or the spell. He also has the materials to make these. So he has done the huge mulligan right now. Instant destruction, but is this going to be enough? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god. What's gonna happen? I'm super curious. This is such a duel that is going on right now. Sinmai is going on the defensive here. Alright. Nothing. He's just having one backer still. So eventually GNC is going to be able to sort of play at that point. But can he? He can get back again the Dragon Duel. Alright, the Hawk is coming in. Gets back the Dragon Duel. And now he's going to try to attack. Doesn't have much, maybe hand traps only. And that's going to be an attack that lands anyway. And the Galloping Guy using its effect. That is such a crazy duel that is going on right now, because Sin Mavius has been doing all his plays very late. All due to the bad hand he got. Curse of Dragonfire, which is going to allow him to go for the fusion, but which one is my question? From the looks of it, I guess he's gonna go for the champion. Yes, it goes for that. Makes a lot of sense. He wants to destroy, get rid of the Dragon Duel. Try for 3 subs coming in clutch to at least have some more defense on the field. That's still going to be a level 6 that is on the field, a very important one. No, Dragon Duel is destroyed. Jins is gonna take this as a okay. But what he needs is to get more defense. He gets the Hawk. Now he can make an Xyz. Alright, he goes for the Ptolemy M7 right now. Is this going to be enough or not? The M7 is so far using the effect. It passes. And that goes through. That's the end. Oh my Jesus. What a duel just happened. What a crazy duel. That's gonna be 6-6. Sinmav is being out. And GNC resisting will remain with the TD. Bloody hell, that duel. So much stuff happened. So much stuff happened. That was crazy. Man. Because the thing is with Gaia, despite the break, you always have like some ways to come back. But he had maybe one of the worst breaks I've seen ever from any Gaia. So Sinmavis was in the worst spot possible. And at the same time you had GNC not even getting Legionnaires, not even getting this like violent way of like destroying all the backers and all. And he was also being able to like force all the Book of Moons, which could have pretty much helped a lot Sinmavis in this situation. That was a duel. That was some serious play, honestly. Well, now we're just going to be waiting for the next player of Last Killer who now has to yet again counter the Thunder Dragon. If they have a second Gaia, I will say they can go for it again. Otherwise, maybe they'll send another deck, so let's see. The players in the room. And we're gonna have M. Or more like Emusama if you want. So whenever the two players are ready, we're gonna go again in for the next duel, next encounter. That is actually crazy right now because both teams have 6 points right now. IS pretty much caught up them. So let's see what deck they decide to bring in. Supreme King Jaded? Don't tell me they're going for a mirror match. I do think it could be a mirror match at that point. 24 cards, both of them. I guess that's gonna be the case. Also gaining this first turn on the side of GNC, he's gonna be able to go for the 2 Thunder Dragon, the vanilla one. Goes for the Roar. If that's the case, I guess he wants to... nothing. I'm curious why he went for the Roar. Rating is going to be normal summoned. And Emu has pretty much the materials to make 11 years. Although he doesn't really need to use it right now, he can save it for later. Will go for the Roar, get the hook. And no Hug is gonna be able to special summon the Roar. Yeah, TD Mirror is something I don't think I expected for sure. But I guess they want to force the way. Which I can understand though. Oh my god, that actually is going to be lethal no matter what. GNC who got the break, and that's going to be actually a point for Last Killer, so that's like back to back. We got the break, you get the break. That's pretty much an exchange what happened, so easy point for Emu, and GNC now has to go for the second deck. Yep. Is what it is though. Maybe he was bringing around Thrift though. Disturb, why if you play 1 card copy in your deck you always draw is 1 copy, have better advantage than 3 copies? That's a very weird question, but if I try to understand it, I guess you mean why do you have some cards that you want to play 1 copy instead of 3? Some of the cards though, they're like too situational to be played at so many copies. So most of the time you want to get maybe to play the card as 3. So like Book of Moon for example, you usually want that. And also GNC is skipping a turn. No, GNC didn't. It's Genesis' turn. What the heck is gonna happen? Okay, if this is Gaia, GG. Nah, fuck it. GG. That's it. Let me guess. He has the Knight already. He has the Magic of Night. Curse of Dragonfire, he can get it. But he mainly has the... This fucking mosquito, by the way. Wait a second, guys. Okay, you gotta thank the mosquito because it was not able to finish the sentence. But anyways, that's legal. If he has the mirror, that's the end. That's all he needs. Otherwise, if he has the Dark Flare, then that's also another way to get lethal. So eventually, if that's what he got, Also going for the fusion right now, he gets the magical knight, the classic. But know that he went for defense that's not lethal, so that's gonna change a lot of stuff here. If he had the dragon mirror, that would have been fine, or if he had the dark flare, but going defensive means that he doesn't. Will still be a good hand depending on what he gets to do against Emu. Nothing, wow. Well, Jinxie still has a chance to land that lethal though, let's see. Actually, I just read your comment, Saifedin, about the copies. But if I'm going to be honest, 1 copy and 3 copies is just depending on the card and what it does. So, you have, for example, Lightning Vortex, you don't want to get it 3 copies because I discard 1 card to destroy all face-up monsters. But maybe not all matchups you'll fight are like that. So maybe you have stall decks, and stall decks always have like face-down monsters. And if that's the case, then you know you're like in a bad spot. But eventually, if it is like getting 3 cards of, for example, Book of Moon, it's the idea that you can have a card that you use for any kind of context that will remain good. So 3 copies is what you want. You know, things like that. It's just a question of what card is truly efficient for the deck and what is a card that will be for surprise. Like, I know in the past people were doing a lot of funny stuff. For example, when it comes to 3 cards or like 3 copies of a card. Needle Sealing, for example. There were people playing 3 Needle Sealing in one deck, and that's just dumb. Like, indeed it's good to destroy all monsters at some point, but then 1 copy Prismatic God, lol. Maybe though. Actually, that happens to me a lot, where I get a card that, for example, I don't want and it somehow is Prismatic. Like, I wanted Book of Moon, by the way. I recently tried to pack it. Oh my god, it's Tech Genius! Let's go! Tech Genius! That's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna love watching Tech Genius right now. I'm hyped. I don't have the day, but I love watching Tech in the end. I used to hate it before, but I'm just like, the deck is fun to watch. And the deck is fun to play. And it's also strong. So, Fossil Dig, Mr. Lazarus discard, and now he can special summon the Raptor from the deck. Setup being done. And if he has a Serpent, if he has a Raiden, he can make the Synchros. Alright, so he does have the Raiden. Alright, so that's not gonna be good that he has the Raptor in the graveyard. He usually wants it to have it in the deck only. And also the other Raiden, which I guess it cannot... It doesn't need to care a lot, in my opinion. Right. Actually, I'm going to be right back, guys. So enjoy the duel. And I'll try to see how I can come in the rest. And I am back. So far I'm seeing the Star Guardian, And I'm also seeing 2 Raptor. And that's also an end of turn which no Gaia is going to play, but it doesn't forcefully mean that he can actually deal with all this field. What he mainly needs is something to negate the effect of the Gaia if he has, and if such the case, he's going to be in a very good spot. But does he have what he needs to? Right, now he's going for the Black Rose and it lands though. No response on the side of DNC. If he has some back rows, he can still save some time though. Because Emu doesn't really have any follow-up for now. So let's see. We're going for another ride with the Tech Genus. So yet again he got the setup for a Synchro, and that's gonna be a level 8 about to come up. Which will be the Swarm, the Battle Wasp. Oh my god, that's gonna be lethal with the Battle Wasp. Not real background on the side of GNC, and that's gonna be enough. Emu is going to be taking the point here, so 8 to 7 we have so far. That Tech Genus could be very evil though. That Tech Genus could be something very important here, because it's not all decks that can defeat it, but maybe they do have the counter for it. We'll have to see. It's gonna be interesting how they have to deal with this deck though. Oh my god, for sure. Honestly, I respect anyone who's playing Tech Genus. Like, I think out of all the decks I've seen in 2021, it is the only deck that, even if it has like a very good feel and maybe you don't defeat it due to hands and all, I still think it's one of the funniest decks to see. That's a deck I respect. Alright, so I do think the next player is also in the room. So players will have to move to table 2 if the player doesn't leave yet. So let me just prepare that. We're going to have Van Chavez as the last player. So this is going to be an all-in for both teams though. There's the last player, but they have to decide for the last deck. Well, second last deck technically, because he's going to go with the first one. And this is a very important point to take, especially against a Tech Genus. Alright, so please guys be patient. They really are thinking this out and I do understand their position for sure. This was no easy selection. So let's see what deck they decided to send Evan Chavez with. Emi on the bottom with Tech Genius, and on top that's going to be a Blue Eyes. Interesting. Tech Genius also getting the first turn.
Duel.
Alright, so instant charge to get down rated for free, and Raptor, Canadian, and the Skilled Prisoner being in the graveyard. So Skilled Prisoner will be pretty fine, he can still use it. Canadian can still be special summoned from the grave as well. And Raptor can be obtained with the help of the Serpent. So how is Amo going to go for that? Normal summon the Raptor, and also appreciate for the follow art. Hope you enjoyed the war that is going on so far. Only Raptor 2 set cards. This is a funny sign, I gotta say. This is a very funny sign. He's basically saying that he has a setup to go for the destruction using the dinosaur. That is not something I thought I'd see, but because Blue Eyes is like back row reliant, and they also rely on getting some plays with Sage, ideally. Still thinking. Which of course depends on the hand, because all I can do as a caster is against the hand. And I can't say much. Eventually, one thing you can do as usual is like you draw, you like summon Sage to get the stone. But it is still possible that he wants to save the Sage to tribute the monster that he has, then get a monster. The first thing I can guess is that there's no cause of consonance, which indeed is going to be slow for Ivan Chavez. It is also possible that we get to see a bait done by Emu. And if that's the case, that's going to be a thing. Although, I just realized one thing before I go very fast. The Tech Genius, they do play Marilla Paleozoic, which is an end trap. From the Paleozoic archetype, which says you can send a trap from the deck to the grave. So eventually there will be a destruction done. So stone is going to be normal summoned. Ooh, instant Canadian though. So Canadian is going to be summoned. So what is this going to be though? Setting 2 back row. Oh my god. Such an evil bait actually. Oh my Jesus. Although I don't think he really needed to special summon 2, but I can understand why he wants to special summon 2 dinosaurs. That is just to get some more monsters in the grave. That reason why I said it's evil is because it could have been just a Marilla. And Marilla will also have been like fine. But the thing is, the fact that it was really a survival's end that is set, I think it means everything. Because it could have been, let's say, Sage that gets summoned. You draw for the stone. And maybe you have like some more plays behind. I said they go for the first one is going to destroy the Divine Wrath. There's so much stuff that are about to happen. So Divine Wrath is being destroyed though. And I do think there's going to be the Serpent being summoned instead. Alright, first of all, Missile Ladazurus is going to use the effect. But that's going to be an effect used from the grave. And if such, that means that you can still banish the Raptor. The moment the Raptors are banished, that's over. So if he has a Karma card, that's GG. If he doesn't, then that's gonna last for longer. So far the Raiden is passing by. Star Guardian is going to be summoned. It is possible that there's no timing actually. Oh my. Also tune the level balance. He's gonna go yet again for the Battle Wasp. And also gets another setup for a potential synchro, but he doesn't need. Oh my god, that's gonna be lethal right now. That was crazy. So he targeted the correct card, the one was a bait, which probably was a cause of consonance, so that is actually going to be a point for Emu. 9-7 here. Match point is going on right now. Alright, so the question is, do they want to go for a repeat? Because from the looks of it, they don't have a deck that forcefully counters the Tech Genus as well. So that exact decision is going to be very hard eventually for IS. Last killer so far looking very good. That Tech Genus, which is probably about to end the Swar, and ends up being a solid deck. No repeat, by the way. We jump in. And that is actually going to be a Melodious. First turn yet again for Emu, which he could be able to go for some stuff here. And that's also a 30 card Melodious. Instant Fossil D. We'll go for the Mesolandosaurus. Alright. Emerald in Clash when Disturbia casts. Honestly, who knows? I do think, well, I mean, that's gonna be personal, but to me, luck is based on myself. But I mean, if I am able to give luck to the player, well, I guess I'm glad. But honestly, I don't have luck in general. Like, even when speedrunning, there's so like no luck because you're like based on skills. Alright, so also getting a good graveyard right now because he has the survival end. No Raptor yet in the graveyard as well. And that's gonna be Star Guardian that also can get the Serpent, which is very good for him though. Very good. I agree, but he seems to get better luck when you cast the game. Yeah, fair enough, Elthor. Star Guarding that then special summons the Raptor. He goes special summon. Okay, no, he's going for the same setup as before. What an evil person. But that's not dumb. That's not dumb because he wants to get to Black Rose. That's very, very fishy. Although, that's not over yet. Special summon on the side of Ivan. If he has a setup to make the Blum Diva, I do think things can change if Ivan Chavez has accessibility for that. So you never know. So getting the Mazarta is going to special summon a monster from the hand. And that is actually going to be a Soprano. Very good. Oof. That is going to be a very interesting interaction because this Wolf Force ammo to go for the Black Rose due to the fact that if there's any Bloom Diva, that changes the state of the game. But does he want to go for that? Or does he want to remain patient? If he goes for a Black Rose that instead destroys the back row in priority, he knows that the Bloom Diva is going to remain. So what is going to be the choice of ammo though? Alright, so he's allowing the effect. He is letting the Soprano to go for the effect. I mean, that will be... To me, that will be a Bloom Diva, no way. Yeah, Bloom Diva it is. Making a poggers like that. I wonder who's behind the channel though, but shoutouts to the family, shoutouts to Duel Links team was. I'm glad to see you here. Alright, so getting that Blonde Diva on the field is going to allow Ivan Chavez to go for more tempo because there is maybe the Survival's End, but nothing can pretty much destroy Blonde Diva. He will attack, destroy monsters. Blonde Diva is going to be happy. Despite having a flower, she has a rose. And that does hurt. I do have the impression that this is going to be very stealthy because Noemo has to play slower. He cannot go for the Black Rose he wanted. Solo is going to be summoned anyway. Interesting choice. But I mean, he's not on the wrong. If he destroys the 2 Raptor, I do think he is fine. Let me see one thing. Yep. So the effect is not once per turn for the Raptor, so if the 2 Raptor are destroyed, he can add cards. So no, the Star Guardian is going to use the effects of forcing it. He's going to go for the Black Rose. So Black Rose destroys all the cards except the Bloom Diva, and the Cosmic Cyclone also gets destroyed. Setting 2 cards on the side of Ivan Chavez. He had more back row, which could end up being very good. Alright, so 2 cards in hand off and with this time. So the Serpent is going to be normal summon right now, which was obtained with the help of the Star Guardian. If Ivan Chavez has anything to negate the effect or put the card down, he will be able to go for more tempo. So far things are passing by, and that's gonna be a treacherous chapel. Destroying the 2 monsters on the field. But the survival's end is still gonna come. Force the other back row. Necrofusion it was though. Ooh. That is going to be it. That is it with the Necrofusion. And the reason for that is you go for Schuberta. Schuberta banishes the Serpent and the Raptor. And that will be enough. Because then he cannot really get cards anymore. And as the third card, I guess you can banish the other Raptor. To me, that's a GG. To me, that's a GG. Although we could have said not yet because there's still one back row indeed, but he completely slowed down ammo. That's what I tried to mean. Yep. So not yet lethal despite Schubert having 3000. So going for the attack again, and that actually is going to pass. Another solid duel. I don't know what's going on with these last duels, but they're honestly crazy in all the ways possible. 9 to 8. Ammo is gonna have to go out. No more Tech Genius, but I was happy to see it. Even Chavez though is going to remain with the Melodious. And let us wait for the last player on this side of Last Killer. Maybe 2 matches remaining. We don't know what are the last 2 decks on the side of the next player, but we'll see what it is. He's already in the room. Wanting to go fast is what he wants. Koya-Sing is going to be on the table. Alright, already in the last, well, almost last duel. Alright, so the fact that it is a main Valentine, it looks like it is Harpy. Ivan, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. So 21 cards on the bottom, and the starter is actually Melodious. Can it be a try-mid debate? Honestly, Althor, I will have loved you guys if you sent a try-mid because I'm a fan of try-mid. But if I have to be honest, I know that's gonna be a Harpy. That's what I guess. But if I was a try-mid, I will send myself against the Melodious. And that's honestly a truth. Yep. I also recently played, but if there's one thing I want to bring, by the way, between Trimid and Melodious, can I hate on balance? Like, I understand still why balance has to be played, and I even force myself to on like wars because consistency is going to be important. But HEG is like you're free, you know, it's like freedom. I can special summon, turn 2, lethal with Sphinx, or just lethal with having 2 monsters on the field, play around the Harpy. Things like that will be so good, and that's what makes balance so bad. Like, turn 1 is good, turn 2 is trash. Trimid, HG is like terrible hands, but maybe you can still do plays. But anyways, Ivan Chavez so far getting the Shapina, getting back the score, only 1 set. Only 1 set. And yeah, King Golem can stall them all, yep, that is true. Alright, first, that's gonna be a skilled prisoner. Alright, now Scale of Prisoner is going to be very good though. Because it cannot be bounced by the slash Harpy Lady. But I still think we'll have to see depending on the opening of the Harpy. You want to see Dragon? Nice troll, Alpha. Nice troll. I mean, I know I will have wished to see Trimate, but I'm not going to ask the people to do. Because I know only I am a good Trimate player. Because I don't play TTH in it. King W. And it's also like, the main idea is that you cannot really send Trimate just like that. In a meta like that where you have so many Harpy behind and Gaia, which is going to come back after the ban list is applied, there's no way to play Trimate. You could maybe have it as sub, I guess, but that's not something you want. Chandler going through having the Perfumer. Yeah, that for sure break. Miku to this, so thank you very much for the follow, I appreciate it. So what is he going to go for? I do think he can still go for the Synchro, which makes so much sense. Alright, so yes indeed, he went for the slash. Egot is coming through. Doesn't matter if he uses the effect right now, because he basically cannot use it against the Shobina. And also another fact is he cannot attack right now. He cannot try to attack because if he does, the score is going to come in. So Ivan Chavez is going to resist for quite some time. That is a crazy feel of what I'm seeing. Oh my god. Also got the Oracle. He could go for an Xyz if he wants, but who is my question. No, he goes for a Synchro again. Will he go for the second stab slash Harpy Lady? From the looks of it, I will guess he wants to force the score. That's a very interesting choice. And yeah, that was a good play in the end because he was able to force the effect of score to go through. And at the same time, Quasing has the reply with the Cyber Slash. Decides to get back the Featherize, okay. But no, Ivan Chavez is not going to have an easy field. Although, if he has ways to go for special summons, he sort of can be fine. Sending one card, 2, 3, only spell traps, oh my. Necrofusion one time through, that would be nice for him. If he manages to get it, that's going to be pretty good. Targets the left side. Breakthrough skill though. I mean, should be fine if he somehow has the Necrofusion on the other place. Because then that means he cannot really get bounced, like the fusion is going to remain on the field, so... Oh, okay. He wants to chain the Necro. What a mad lad. I thought he was gonna wait. I really thought he was gonna wait. Oh, I see why. Okay, this guy is crazy. I know why Ivan Chavez is going for that. Schuberta banished 3 Harpy on the opponent's side so he doesn't get rest. All of that to block the rest. That's crazy. What a mad lad. He can. That's a good play there, because then Goising is going to be slowed down. He has to rely on the back row as much as possible. All he needs to do is change the effect of Schuberta. That's all he needs. And that's an even better timing because he lets the spell go through first. So wasting 1 card from the opponent. My Jesus. It will still draw 2, you say? Actually, no. If I read the card correctly, he shouldn't be able, because he says target the monsters, shuffle them, then. And because you have the word then. Oh my god, no way. Oh, no way. He still had the Forbidden Chalice. No way. That's still over, but what I try to mean is because you have the word then, it basically means that the action has to be done first. So the 3 monsters has to be back in the deck. Plus, you will be able to draw cards. But if there was no chalice and the effect passes through, no cards will have been drawn. None. Man, that chalice though is going to change stuff. So now what's going to happen is, if Koising has a way to get more attack, that's almost GG, because he basically gets rid of the Schuberta. Perfumer. Actually, that's GG, no? I think that's GG, because now he just needs to do Egodis once the Schuberta. Unless he wants to... Oh yeah, no, anyways he cannot already bounce. He has to do it with the Malevolent Sin then. Now he goes for another Cyber Slash RP Lady again. And going for the net phase. I thought he was gonna try to go for the lethal there, but he wants to be more patient, I guess. Oracle that gets back a card and also has 2 Cyber Slash RP Lady. But I'm wondering, because I think Schuberta had the effect negated. I don't know if it can activate again. If it can, then he's fine. Doesn't seem to be the case forcefully. Yeah, he cannot. Yeah, true, the Skilled Prisoner, which also will be fine for him. Alright, so now using the Skilled Prisoner to try to protect the Schuberta. And that's going to be a good timing, because the Cyber Slash Harpy Lady has used the effect first. So forcing now the back row again. And that's actually going to be a Book of Moon. So first attack is going to go through, second one as well. So no lethal for Koising, but still close to get the win for his team. 2 cards in hand of Ivan Chavez, 22 in the deck. Alright, he's gonna set a card. Only monster though. I think that was gonna be GG though. That's it. But he destroyed solo. And that's not over. Because with Soprano you can actually get a monster back. Although I don't know if he can get... No, he cannot get score, sadly. No. He cannot. That's actually still going to be lethal, yeah? Is what it is. And that is going to be the end of the war. GG. Crazy war that happened, I swear to God. That was one crazy war. I also forgot to change the score. I just realized. No, that's one. That's just the first rule of coercing. What I'm doing. Alright. So that's gonna be it for the war, the scores. Congrats to Last Killer for getting their second win at last though. Maybe they'll be back because who knows? Teams like them can also disrupt a lot the rankings, even if it means they don't get to playoffs. They can do a lot of work, so congrats to them for getting the win. That was an OP war though. Well played to both teams, honestly. Very happy to have casted this war, I swear to God. Well played, everyone. That is crazy. I'm also doing good my turn. Hope you're doing good as well. Damn. That might be one war I'm going to remember though. That might be a war I'm going to remember. That one was crazy. So, Last Killer now has 2 wins, 5 losses, and Inti's son has 4 wins, 3 losses. But it's not over for Inti's son to sort of qualify for playoffs. They still have a chance. But because it is week 7, by the way, it also means that it is time for the funny divisions, is what I like to call, because depending on the position you got in the division, you will be fighting against specific teams. So, for me that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the war. And like usual, I'm going to do the classic optional raid that almost no one cares, but I do them because raids are fun, come on. Anyways, let me see who I'm going to raid. I have no idea who to raid. Actually, I'm gonna be taking so much time, I'm not gonna lie. Who shall I raid? Who is going to be the chosen one? Alright. I think I'm gonna take one from Duel Links. And I'm gonna take a random one. So let me just raid someone that I've never known, never seen before. Because I think it should be entertaining to see the reaction of someone. So who do I want to raid is the question. Let me see if I can find someone with a cam. Alright. I'm going to be raiding M2S General. So guys, feel free to come with me in the raid if you want. He is also a Duel Links player. For those who want to know a bit more, he's also a competitive player. He has his own team, which is M2S. And they do play in leagues such as League of Friends. So I think it could be fun to raid him if you want. Of course, that's optional, so up to you guys if you want. But the bigger the raid, the better, because we could see some big rares and a funny one. So to me, that's it for the stream. Thank you guys for watching again. And I'll see you guys very, very soon next time. Have a good day, evening, and see you next time, guys. Peace.